And our intention with the meeting was just to provide some context for what the township is doing with their website and walk through some of the functionality that's included. I'm Ashley Freesting, and I actually am the Director of Strategic Initiatives with the company that helped to develop the website. And in my role, I meet with municipalities from all over the country and Canada and just everywhere to talk about how can you better promote the information that's important to your residents? How can you better communicate with your residents and provide information that's meaningful? And so it's been exciting to work with the team here at Franklin and see the new site come together, see the content come together in a way that I think is just much more intentional than the content that had been there before. And it's our hope to continue to provide outside of the functionality that's on the existing site, which we'll explore today. Our job is really just to continue to research the new tools that are being used in the private sector and in municipalities from across North America and figure out what makes sense to continue to provide. And with the townships plan with us, anything that we're releasing, they're automatically going to get added to the site. There have been a few things since the site launched in January that we've been rolling out, including a basic payment tool, an online job application system, and some other things. And it's our hope that we'll just continue to provide those functions as we find things for our other clients and just other places that make sense. So without further ado, I'm just going to introduce Justin, who is the Director of IT at Franklin Township. And he'll walk through the functions that are there just to provide you, again, some framework for the things that you can expect to be able to do on the site, and just talk and answer any questions that you have about the services that are available.
Thanks. So we're going to try to keep this a little informal since we are a small group. We are filming it, so we will be using it, for future things. So I apologize for the microphone. Otherwise, I would just have a little conversation. What I intended to do tonight, what I wanted to do, was start by giving a little bit of background as to how we got here, very briefly. Our old site was over 12 years old. I actually don't know when we got that site. Do you know? So about 12 years old. And it had changed very little in those 12 years. It was a fully managed site, meaning no staff here, and I don't know that the public knows this or really appreciates it, but no staff here had direct control over that site. We would send our updates or send our requests for changes to a provider that we were paying. They would make the updates usually within 24 hours. And that's how the site ran, and that caused some problems. And I think as members of the public, maybe you would appreciate this more than me, but things would get stale, things would get misplaced, things would get broken, and nobody would be there to clean it up, or nobody would know, and nobody would be able to fix it. And that became a problem for us as service providers to you, but also to the public at large would come back to us and say, this isn't working. We can't find what we want. We can't see what we want. This isn't providing the service that we need. And so about 11 months ago, we endeavored to find a new web provider. And we went out to bid to find a new provider. We had about 6 responses from 6 different companies that we reviewed and went through our normal governmental processes with, and we settled on Vision Internet. And then it went, so from there it was about a 6-month process to come up with what we have today, which is this nice new website. So what I'm going to do now is spend a little bit of time walking through some of the features and how the site's organized and the things that are available on it. At the end of it, we'll talk a little bit and see what you guys think and what we can do better in the future. So this is our homepage. You can see there's a few different navigation areas. The first one is the top area here that does not change. The site, the first major change that we made, or that you'll notice, is the site is now a multilingual capable site. The old site was strictly just in English. With the Google Translate feature, you will see that the site will translate to any number of languages that are available. I don't speak Lithuanian, but if you do speak Lithuanian, then this might make some sense to you. that was a big deal for us. You know, our populace does not all speak English, so this was really important to us to make sure that everybody could access the site and understand the site. This top toolbar does not change no matter where you are. So if you ever need to find a way to contact us, you get lost in the site, you can certainly bail out to contact us, and one of us will be happy to help you guys. Our FAQ engine is the next area that I kind of want to highlight. All of the areas that are interactive throughout the site typically have this filter area to start with. You can filter by category, you can filter by department, and hopefully that'll help you find your answers to what you're looking for a little bit better. Our newest FAQ is this cable franchise renewal. Our cable franchise with Comcast is up now, and we're starting the process of renewing that. And so here's an FAQ about that. You click on anything that you want to find the answer to, and it'll pop up and give you the answers. Municipal Codes is our old code book that's been available for years online now. And again, another new feature that we're pretty, was pretty important, I think, to the public is this Township Staff Director. You will see all of our staff listed alphabetically by last name. You can filter by department. Here's my staff and I, and hopefully find who you're looking for very fast, or at least a member of a department that you're looking for very easily. Our newest feature on the site that launched about 3 months after we launched the site in January. For those of you who don't know, January 5th, I think, is when we brought it online. Our employment section is very new. So we have all of our jobs listed online. I don't know if either of these are available for online application. They're not currently. Yeah. Yeah, so some of our part-time jobs don't have online application capabilities just because of the type of job that they are. But when we do post full-time jobs, two just came down because I know the ones from my department were posted there. We do have the ability to apply online. So should anyone be looking for a job, we hope to make it a lot easier for them to be able to fill out the job application online and submit their resume seamlessly through the system. Like I said, these part-time jobs, unfortunately, are not enabled for that just yet, but maybe they will be soon. I'm going to head back to the home page. So going across the top, we talked about that. These menus are new compared to our old site. Our old site had very different menu structure. We have tried to organize things in such a way that anybody, no matter how they're looking for it, can find it. About Franklin has a lot of visitor information, a lot of general information for folks who are maybe moving to Franklin or interested in learning more about Franklin. Some general information, our mission and vision statement is there. History of the town. I'm going to click on the things to do just to give you a sense of what these pages look like. Here you can find a lot about natural features of our town, different places to do things, link to our recreation department, parks. Our trails map is here, giving you some detailed information about our different natural areas and our trails. And this will evolve over time. One of the things that we were even talking about today is putting together an interactive map of all of our trails, our trailheads, our parks. I haven't told the manager this yet, but he's finding out now too. With some detailed information about what's available in them. So if it's the Niagara-Napote grassland, it's a active area for bird watching. That would be listed. If it was one of our parks, you would see is have a playground and a basketball court, or tennis courts, or softball fields, or what's available within it, in kind of an interactive fashion and a map, and that's probably coming in the next couple of months. What's new is kind of ever changing. This is where you can get your news and your newsletters. Talk about social media in a little bit. Employment opportunities, again, to live here, and our calendars. Our calendars have been upgraded from our old site. Again, the same filter is available on any given interactive screen that you can see. You can filter by just about anything. Let's see, where is Township Council? That's what I'm looking for. Well, let's see. So if you wanted to see where just the CITV meetings, you could filter that. click on it, get some more information about it, as well as a direct link into Google Maps of where the event is. So again, a lot more interactive, a lot more hopefully user friendly, and you'll see that same interface throughout the website. One of the newest features, and the one that I'm going to spend a little bit of time talking about today, is our e-notification feature. This is a massively upgraded overhaul from our old system. The old system, for those of you who were involved with it, you would subscribe and you would get every last little thing that we put on that website. So if you were a resident and you wanted to know about events, you would also get RFPs, you would get road closures, you would get just about anything that we put out, you would get, and it would become kind of in a very disorganized fashion to you at will. The new system will allow you to selectively sign up for whatever you like. So all we need is your email address and your name, and then you can come through and choose. I do care about recreation programs and senior citizen programs, open space events. I'm interested in seasonal job postings, and water utility news, or whatever it might be. This can be changed at any point on the fly. You can come back to the system, and for those residents who are already subscribed, we'd like to encourage everybody to come back here and review your preferences, because a lot of categories have been added since we launched the site. So you just put your email address in, you'll receive a link to come back in your email just to verify that you are who you say you are. Follow that link back to the website, and then you can change your preferences at any point in time. I'm going to jump into one of our departmental pages now. I'm going to use the IT page. So all of our pages throughout the site are available, and the e-notification engine integrates with each of our various components, like our calendar that I showed you, and our news component, which I'll show you in a second. We're fully integrated with the e-notification. So if we put a news article out, such as the Elizabeth Avenue road resurfacing that's going on right now, that would come to the e-notification subscribers that were subscribed to General Township News and traffic advisories. Also on each of our pages, though, is this kind of common top bar area, and this is kind of an underutilized feature that we wanted to let everybody know about today. Looking at this share and bookmark. So a lot of times folks will come to a page, find something that's very interesting or that somebody else needs to know about, and they want to know how to share it. So they might copy the link into an email and send it to somebody. Instead, what we're kind of encouraging everybody to do is use the share and bookmark feature. So you could share it through email, or you could share it through various social media avenues, Facebook, Twitter, some others, less popular ones, but certainly through Facebook and Twitter, and help us spread the word about the township's new web presence. So at any point in time, should you see something interesting, feel free to come in and click share on Facebook or share via email, Google+. If at any point in time on any of our pages you run into issues, you can always use the feedback link, and that will come directly to me and my staff, and we'll be happy to address whatever issues you might have and respond in kind. The other new design feature for us was this I want to section. And this is something that we change every couple of months as new things pop up. Manager's office might get a call, my office might get a call, and we say, hey, I was trying to find how to do a building permit, and I couldn't find it. Maybe just you didn't know that was our building department, maybe you couldn't find the building department's page. So we'll add I want to's as they come up. So if you wanted to adopt an animal, I want to apply for, my touchpad's a little too sensitive today, a building permit. And that will bring you to the appropriate place. Want to pay your tax bill online, and it'll bring you to our online payment center. So the idea here, again, was to make information more readily available to our residents, easier to find, hopefully easier to navigate, and easier to use. Let me go back to the home page for a second. The one that's almost on every page?
That one?
That?
Off Demont Lane and Easton Avenue. It's the Van Wickle house. It's one historic structures that we own. It's along the Delaware-Raritan Canal, kind of hidden away.
And that's the back porch, so it's really
That's
hidden
the back
around.
of the house, exactly. Right on Easton Avenue, that's lovely.
Well, and I was going to say, I can interject a little bit because I was thinking the same thing, and I think that that illustrates a lot of the thought behind a website is that often it's about communicating with the residents that are there, but it's also about conveying an accurate sense of place to people who are maybe thinking about moving to Franklin Township or relocating their business here, or those who maybe will never visit in person but will only visit online, so they can get a sense as to the things that are available, or even the link that you showed originally regarding the parks and trails. If I was thinking about purchasing a home here, I'd come to the site and would want to know some of those things that are available, where people who have lived here for many years probably just, you take for granted that you know where those things are. I know I do in the town that I live in. I think, well, everybody knows where this is. So it's nice to be able to provide that resource not only to people who are new to town, but also to people who are thinking about living there, and providing that billboard to people who are considering making Franklin their home or a home of their business. So anyway, just wanted to, it was a good question, Janelle, because I was thinking the same thing, and it kind of spurred that on for me too. So.
Yeah, that was actually a picture picked out by the designers at Vision to be kind of the headliner image for our pages. And some, yeah, we gave you guys a whole bunch of images, and that was the one that they picked for the pages. We have certainly, depending on the area, you may or may not see it. You'll see different images on different sites depending on what the folks are trying to convey. Our construction department, these are some active projects in town that are going on, being built right now. I'm not quite sure where that one is, but as you move through the site. The other thing as you move through the site that's interesting is as you stumble upon different department pages or different areas, you'll see different designs of different templates. This is a different type of page that we have in here, and it has a little news sidebar box. So you'll be able to find different news items that pertain to different issues as you move through the site. Oh, that news box is. So moving down the home page, I'm going to spend a little bit of time on the home page now. Going down the center, you can see a number of graphic buttons that we have designed that are kind of our 6 top accessed areas. So the first one is government payments. This is where you can pay your tax and water bill online. Soon to be some other features coming on for January. We're going to allow for dog and cat license payments through the web. So that'll be a new feature that'll be coming on for the next renewal cycle in conjunction with our clerk's office. Moving down to recreation and events, one of our newer features that we have now is online program registration. So that was just launched for the summer season. You can now browse our online catalog of programs, senior programs, youth programs, adult programs that are put on by our recreation office, and register and pay directly through the online system, receive email confirmations and email communications from the rec office regarding those programs. Our citizen request portal was recently revamped as well. This is the similar request portal that has been there for the last couple of years, but it has gotten a major upgrade. Should you choose to use the new portal, I just warn everybody who's maybe watching at home or who's sitting in the audience today, you will need to register for a new account. It's real simple. You just register here. This is where, should you see any requests, any potholes, any trees down, any issues that you need to report to the township, or any questions that you have for us, this will go directly to the department that's responsible for it, and they'll be able to communicate back to you through that system. We do encourage everybody to use that, and then in the coming year or so, we'll also be launching some mobile companion apps to this, so that should you be out and about, you can be able to report an issue on the fly from your mobile device of choice. Our spotlight items are something that, again, this was a direct response to our residents saying, there's no one place on the site that really highlights what's new and what's happening. And so we made sure that our homepage design reflected that. The spotlight items, you can see our forum that we're sitting in right now, is on there, are just the top maybe 4 or 5 items that are pertinent to the to the citizens and the visitors of Franklin right now. Our Independence Day celebration coming up. Again, the new online rec program registration that I just brought up. Social media, which again I'll get to, and after the harsh winter that we had, we wanted to make sure everybody knew how to report potholes to us, so we have that up there as well. How are we doing is a feedback form for our residents who interact with us here at the town. This goes right directly to the township manager's office. So any feedback, good or bad, we are always happy to have you fill that out and send that over to us. Resident traffic advisories is the place to go for any sort of advisories, and should there ever be another, let's hope not, but another Sandy or Irene, that'll be the place that is constantly kept up to date with the emergency information, as well as other areas of the site. But that'll be the one kind of one-stop shopping for any sort of emergency or advisory information that we need to get out to folks. Coming online soon, too, is a new emergency notification system that will be promoted through this site that will allow residents to more customize the way we deliver our emergency notifications to you. And we'll be giving out some more information about that in the coming weeks. But we are about to launch that, and it'll be integrated with the site, so you'll be able to take a look at that. The last one is a place to sign up for notifications. I already talked about e-notifications, and just kind of a reminder as well. As I said, our reverse 911 system is getting a major overhaul soon, but we also are a community that uses Nixle for day-to-day alerts, so please do sign up if you haven't for our Nixle subscriptions. Yeah, okay, so I'll show you that real quick. So Nixle is a quick way to sign up for geographic text and email alerts based off of where you are or where you live. You can sign up for multiple areas. If, say, you work in one town and live in another. It has been in the past provided free to public safety agencies as a way to get the word out about issues, traffic issues. It could be an emergency alert. It could be missing person, all sorts of different types of issues, but it is very simple to sign up. You need a telephone number or an email address and a zip code, and then you can go ahead and sign up. This happens to be our page, so this would sign you up directly for Franklin, but then you would be able to sign up for various other alerts that you choose to. So these are all the agencies that have alerted recently in the area. So these are our alerts mixed with the county sheriff and state police. So it looks like there's a missing child. It just came out. Yeah. Folks, and the other thing about this is it's dual delivery method. So either text message or email, and you can pick and choose what goes to your text and what goes to your email through the interface. So do please be careful. If you don't want to get our messages via text, don't sign up via text. Sign up via email, and vice versa, because you can control that yourself. So. Last couple areas I want to talk about just briefly before I kind of open it up for some discussion. The bottom two areas on the site are dynamic, and they will bring up the most pertinent information that needs to be displayed. So if a news item was just posted today, it'll be on top. Or if it's most important and we choose to push it up to the top, we can do so. Likewise with the events. As an event comes due, you can see the 3 events that were held today. Shade Tree Commission meeting, financial workshop, and this forum that we're sitting in right now. And the convenience center is open this weekend. So as those events pass, like at the end of the day, those top 3 will move off, and three new events will come to the top. So you can always see what's upcoming or what's newest, whether it be a calendar event or a news event on your homepage. And this is an automatic feature. This was something that was very important to us as we designed the site, was that this wasn't left up to a person. We have limited staff these days, so having somebody have to come back here and remove events or add events was not really an option. So as we build them now, the system knows what day it is, it knows what day the event is posted, and it will automatically adjust that for us. At any one of these boxes, you can always click more and it'll bring you to the full calendar event. The last area down here, with the launch of this website, we also launched our Facebook and our Twitter pages at the Township. Again, social media is becoming more and more pertinent in government, I think, just about every day. So we do want folks to go ahead and like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter. You can also like and follow the Franklin Township Police Department on both Twitter and Facebook as well. Some of the advisories cross over, some don't. So I do encourage everybody to do both. Our YouTube channel is here that you can find anything that airs on the Township channel will be posted there within reason, and all of our meetings, both planning, zoning, and Township Council, are there and archived for pretty much forever. So if you want to catch a Township Council meeting, feel free to go out to our YouTube channel. Here is
Me.
the meeting from 2 nights ago is already posted, so feel free to go ahead and take a glance at that, watch it, fast forward, rewind, watch the areas that are important to you. So, in a nutshell, that was kind of a quick tour of our website and some new features. Part of what we wanted to do this evening was hear from members of the public, and we only have a few here, but we're still happy to hear from you guys about have you used the new site? Are you here just because you want to learn about the new site? Are there features? Are there services that we should be providing online? We really were hoping to have have some sort of conversation and feedback from everybody here. Do you have anything more, Ashley, to add? So we're happy to get some feedback. I know we only have a very small audience in house today, but happy to hear from you guys. So.
One question I have, you said that the updates are automatic and that you don't have to send them out. Somebody's got to input the information into the system.
Yeah, so we do input the information into the system, but we do it once. So I'll give you staff of the township. So it's either in some cases it's my staff and myself in the IT department. In some cases it's departmental staff. Depends on the situation, but many staff members have access to it. It all comes through my office eventually before it gets pushed out to the web, just to keep some sort of consistent flow of information. But a staff member would enter it if let's say it was to kind of expand on what I was saying earlier is, say it was a calendar event. We would input the calendar event in one place. We can use it in many different places. It will appear on the news list here, or the events list here. It will appear on the township calendar. It might appear on a departmental calendar if a department has a calendar by themselves. They input it once. It goes out to all those areas, and as that event comes due, the system knows automatically that it has passed and kind of moves it off to more of an archival area, so that we don't have to manage the homepage as much, and we don't have to manage the information as much. We still have to input it, and we still have to get the word out there, so to speak, but we don't have to then babysit the information as it goes through its life cycle.
So what's your goal as far as how current the website is?
As current as it possibly can be. Mr. Manager, you have a comment on that?
I think that it should be as current as today, and some of
So some items that are calendar related are inputted once a year. We are required by law to notice the public on any public meetings. Most of our meetings, things like council meetings, planning board meetings, Board of Adjustment, those schedules are done prior to the beginning of the year. They're posted to the website as a batch. So if you go to October's calendar now, you can see when those regularly scheduled meetings are. As new things come up, the advantage of this over our previous web provider is that, like Justin said, staff members for each of the departments have at least one representative of the department who's responsible for the content of their page. As things come up, as they often do in government, short notice, it's the responsibility of the department to get that information onto the website. Once it's posted to the website, it's immediate. as Justin said, previously we often waited up to 24 hours, sometimes more, before something would post. Well, you know, a detour being posted by the police department on a short notice road issue, is kind of pointless if it takes 24 hours to post it, because oftentimes even before it's posted, it's over. So that's the real advantage is this is real time. The moment I submit it for posting, it's there. You know, in certain departments, there's a process where it's reviewed by the IT department before that happens, but then others, specifically the police department, which has the most urgency in notifications at times, once they click OK, it's there. And that's something that we didn't have before, and that's a huge advantage over what we had before. Those types, and that's my background. So prior to this position, I worked in the police department for 27 years, and I was the public information officer for the police department for, well, about 8 years. That was frustrating. When we wanted to get news out, we wanted to get a notice out to the public as quickly as we could. Unfortunately, it wasn't available to us. So that really is key. So when you talk about timeliness, it depends certainly on the topic and what it is. Some things we know well in advance, and they'll be on the website for a long time before they occur. Other things might be as they are occurring. We're posting things to the website. You know, Justin mentioned Hurricane Sandy. Unfortunately, we weren't up. Now, the reality is most people weren't able to see our website during Hurricane Sandy anyway, because they probably had no internet provider, and most people in this town had no electricity. So it was unlikely that the postings there were relevant. However, the Nixle postings that we did throughout that, the aftermath of that storm, if you had a cell phone that received text messages, you got constant updates, and they were constant. As we found things out, or as things became, areas became safe to re-enter, power lines were restored, that information went out to the public. That's why those systems that tie into the website are so important.
So, previously, if there were things like boil water advisories, it was very difficult to get the word out about that, unless you were signed up for the Nixle system, or unless we got a reverse 911 call. I'm guessing now we're gonna see that in the latest news, we're gonna see it in the spotlight.
And you're going to see it in one other place, and it would take me a moment to activate it, but I can do that in a second just to show you. But at the very top of the screen, we have the ability to put up an emergency notification banner, and we have used it. We had a short notice road closure about a month ago. It was going to be paved, and the weather pushed off the paving, and then we kind of had to draw attention to it. We activated the emergency banner. If it was a boil water emergency, you would see the emergency banner, and that shows up on every single page. So no matter where you're coming in from, you will see that emergency banner. You know, the other thing, you know, during Sandy and Irene, we certainly learned a lot about pushing out information to residents and how to get information to residents. And you know, one of the things that we learned was that without power, most people still had some sort of mobile device, and they were coming to the library to charge, they were coming to this building to charge, our community center to charge. Our old website did not display nearly at all on a mobile device. It was not usable, at least on a mobile device. One of the requirements for this website when we put out the bid was that it would display on a mobile device. So it's what we all technical folks call responsive web design. On a tablet, this is kind of what the site looks like. Very similar look and feel, but it just kind of stacks things a little bit. On a mobile phone, it looks kind of more like that. So now we have not only the Nixle system and our new emergency notification system that's going to come on in a few weeks, all in response to how do we get the word out and how do we act upon some of the lessons that we learned from the last couple of emergencies. But we also have a website that will be accessible to folks from mobile devices in those emergencies, which is really kind of quite important. So So I guess, my next question would be and I'll keep taking questions, but would be, what else do we need to do? What else would you like us to do?
Certainly one of the inconveniences when you have to pay your bills, the tax bill and the water bill we pay here, but the sewerage authority, we have to go to a different location. Is there some way that you can provide that service or at least provide a link to the sewerage department website?
So that's a very good question, and that is actually something that's being explored currently. I will tell you that the sewage authority is an independent authority separate and apart from your municipal government. And I am aware that you can pay your sewer bill online. You have to do it through the sewage authority website. Some people like to come in and would like to pay all of their bills at once. Maybe your water bill is due, your tax bill is due, your sewer bill is due, and you want to come in and pay it at our collector's office. That can't be done at present. However, the idea is a good one. I will tell you that it is something that's being explored in the possibility of some sort of shared agreement between the authority and the municipality here. However, it's in its infancy, so I won't make you any promises that it will occur, but the discussions are being had right now. In fact, one was had yesterday. Yeah, I mean, this is current. So as much as I'd like to make you that promise, you'll just have to wait and see and watch the website. I'm sure that once it's happening or when there are public discussions about it, it'll be posted there.
You bring up a good point about the link. Certainly, the manager and I can have a conversation with the sewage authority and see if we can at least include. Yeah, but we could put it on the payments page too, and try to make it a little easier for you to find them. Yeah, I don't have a big issue with that.
Oh, we did recently work with the sewage authority. They were seeking a new position to be filled, and with them, we agreed that for certain positions, there's cross-posting on job postings on their website and our website. So they were looking to fill I believe it was we'll call it a superintendent position, an assistant engineer position, and we posted that job opening on our website so that if someone was looking for a job and they were an engineer and they happened to look at our website and saw that we weren't looking for one, well, our sewage authority is, so there was a direct link to their employment page. We can certainly look to do that on the payment page. Again, it would only be for the online payments. We don't accept the payments here in person.
Just a quick question on the payments. I know when you pay here, you can't pay by credit card. Can you pay by credit card on the website?
Yeah, you can. So if I just linked into our online payment page. Let's say we wanted to do an online tax payment. It will bring you out to our payment area. And it outlines some steps for how you're going to go about doing this. Just I'll walk you through it briefly. You enter your block and lot, and I'll enter my block and lot because I live in town. Well, working for the township, I've learned that I better know my block and lot. But there's a lookup on the previous page. So if you don't know your block and lot, you can look it up on the previous page before you come here. And continue, and it brings you in. And now, my taxes are paid in escrow, so it's not telling me I have anything due. But should I had something due, it'll tell you what's due, when the due date is, and it'll give you a button to pay. And then you can enter your credit card information on the secure site and transmit it through. And you can see we're secure now, have been the whole time. So it's very safe and easy to do, and certainly encourage everybody to take advantage of it if they choose to. So.
But the website, you don't store the credit card information.
No.
You have to enter it every time you pay.
Yes.
What we've told other residents is, for security purposes, we don't want to store your credit card information. If you choose to set up automatic payments, we recommend that you do that with your bank, who's a better facility to do that. You can set up online automatic payments. Tax bills are being a good one because you have 4 quarterly payments and they're equal payments, and you can set that up with your bank through your checking account. For our purposes, rather than have a database of credit cards, which we really didn't want to get into, this was the way, and it goes through a third party, so that your security is there when you enter your card number. I do just want to caution some people, when you use a credit card to make your payments, there is a 3% surcharge on that credit card use. If you use a debit card, there is not. And we would encourage as many residents to use the online payment, because obviously that's a much more streamlined process for us and much less labor intensive. When you come in and write a check and we have a cashier at the window, obviously we have to have staff to do that. As we get more and more people to pay online, that means we can then free up those resources for other purposes.
The other caution that we always give too is if you're going to set up recurring payments through your bank, most of the time the bank will actually physically mail us a check on your behalf, which means you need to allot the time for that to get here. So if you're going to do it through your bank, which again is perfectly fine with us, and we're happy to have you do that, I would allow like 5 days. So have it scheduled to come out on like the 25th or 26th for the first day of the month due date, because that's how that works. And the other way that you could do it is through ACH on the website, which is only a $1 charge. It's a flat fee of $1. So you just input your routing number and your account number, and then it will do the ACH transfer for you. So.
I'm wondering if you have any tips about doing searches on the website. I was looking for something, I eventually found it. It was in planning board meeting minutes. Turns out I didn't know exactly what to look for to start with, but I did eventually find it. Is it a Google kind of?
Yeah, was it on the new site that you were doing the search?
Yeah.
Okay. Depending on a couple cautions, depending on when you did it. If it was right when the site first launched,
No,
it was this past week. Okay, good. Then, well, for anybody at home, if it was when we first launched, the site was still being indexed. The site's indexed now. It is a Google search. It's a Google search engine. It's Google site search. So it's just like you would search on Google. The only thing is, sometimes we at government use funny terms for things, and sometimes we call things a little differently. We were talking today about the difference between calling something solid waste and calling something garbage, and most residents would call it garbage, not solid waste collection. So, sometimes we have to snap ourselves out of the government speak, but we try to do that wherever possible. But if it was planning board minutes, then it is what it is for the most part.
Yeah, no,
So.
the problem had to do with the address. It turns out that it was that lot that was being demolished on Hamilton Street in the 1400 block. Well, what I didn't know is that the actual address for that property is
Churchill. We were
I
just
eventually found it by searching 1400 block.
Yeah.
I'm a reference librarian, and I would think about it differently than most of the residents might. So.
Yeah, I mean, generally speaking, the search is much better than the old search. I can tell you that hands down. And so, it is full text. If I put technology in, my department comes up first. Then the Technology and Communications Bureau, the Police Department, computer classes. That was probably an event. Actually, it's a registration form. And so it will search all the components on the site. Like here is, looks like a news item, perhaps. And it will do its best to search within the documents. So as you found out with planning board documents. So, pending nothing weird with the document, it is a full text search, and it will drill all the way in. And so far it's been pretty productive. So this was actually a resource directory that we have, which is designed for our senior citizen resource directory, and it drilled all the way into that and found the word technology. So it does do pretty good. I would search it just like you search Google. Yeah. Anything else? You guys are the only ones here. I don't mean to drill you. You know, in general, I'll say for anybody who might be watching this after the fact, my contact information is on the website. I'm always very, very glad to hear from residents who have feedback on the website. If you go to the IT page, there is still a survey up about the website. I encourage everybody to take it because again, that feedback is the only way that we can make this better. The one major advantage, and I said it in a session we did this afternoon, is that I have control over this now. So if enough residents, or even if one resident calls me and says, I went here, I had somebody call me the other day who said, I went here and I wanted building hours. And we had every single department, we made sure when we did this, we had their hours of operation departmentally on there. But we didn't put the building hours up because we weren't quite sure if this building's open 7:30 to 4:30, but not every department's open 7:30 to 4:30. So we were trying to keep it simple, but they said, I just really wanted to know when the building was open. We said, okay, and in 15 minutes I had the hours of the building up. But I can only do that with the feedback of everybody else, and I just want to make sure that I know that, let everybody know that we do want the feedback, and though IT doesn't get out in front of the residents that often, although lately it seems like we're out there more, we're happy to have the feedback. I know the manager wanted to say a few things.
So, I would like to just kind of add to what Justin said about feedback. So, Justin, if you could first go to how are we doing? So, as the township manager, one of the things I wanted in a prominent place was how are we doing? Customer service feedback. And we really encourage our residents, and when they have interaction with the township, be it over the phone, in person, one of our inspectors came out to your house, good, bad, or indifferent, we would like your feedback. We want to know how we can serve the township better. And the only way we know is if we hear from our residents and business owners, what did we do right? What did we do wrong? This form is fairly simple. If you scroll a little bit, you pick the department that you're looking. It's a little. So I had an in-person visit. Here's the date I came. I went to the manager's office. There I am. And why were you here? And then how did we do? And we want people to fill that out. That's one key component from my office as the township manager as to how we can more efficiently serve the public. I need the feedback of the public to do that. And those go directly to me. And they go only to me. They don't go to the department that is the check mark. It goes to me as the township manager. I'm responsible for every department in the town, and I want that information. And so that's something that I wanted in a prominent place on the website so that people would do that. Also, and if you could just go back to the home page, Justin, and pick a department. It doesn't really matter. Pick my office. Okay. So each department also has the ability for, it is an email, but it's a form field that page that gets filled out. If you have a question specific to a department, or you have a comment, you have some input, maybe you think that we can do something better, and it's very specific, you just have some advice. Each department has you have the ability for each department to do that. Those also they go to the department head for that individual department. They also go to me as well. I get each one. I pretty much read them as they come in because they go to my smartphone, so I see them in almost real time, unless you send it at 3:30 or 4 o'clock in the morning, then maybe I don't see it, but not until I wake up. But this is another useful tool. There is a general information, and the general information is under contact us. It's the same type of form. It just says contact us via email. So we put that banner up top if you see it, and it says, if if you have a pothole or other public works related request, please click here, because those are the most frequent requests to the website. And if you click there, it goes right to the department head who oversees public works. If you click the general, it goes to me. And then I route it out to the individual department. If you have no idea where or who can help you with the problem that you have, that's where you should click. Or if you just have a general comment about Franklin Township or a general question about Franklin Township, that's where you should click. If you have a specific question, like you had a question about a building being built, one knocked down, and now there's obviously going to be something being built there. If you have a specific question about that, then the Planning and Zoning Department is where you would go, and you would click on their link and say, what is it in the 1400 block of Hamilton Street that's being built? And they will respond. And our policy is every communication through the website gets a response. Even if it's, I'm sorry, I can't help you, you will get a response from the department head or me or my office coordinator. So we encourage the residents to use those functions. That's the best form of feedback that we can get.
There was one more feature which I had forgotten to highlight today, and I want to highlight it because it's kind of an underutilized feature. We had something similar on our old website, which is called our community calendar. This is available to any nonprofits that are based within Franklin Township to advertise their events, their meetings, whatever it might be. The system has been simplified a little bit with the new platform. You can now create an account with us, and that way you don't have to continually re-enter your information. You can create I'm not going to go through the process because it's pretty straightforward, but you would click submit your event online, and then you would log in and just fill out the form. It comes to me directly. I review it just to make sure it follows within the guidelines that council has set up. And then your event would go on the website. This happens to be a fundraiser for the food bank within town. So it happens to be the only one this month. And like I said, it is an underutilized area. So if you interact with a nonprofit, or you are a nonprofit based in town, we would love to post your stuff up here at will. So feel free to submit. And like I said, it comes to me. I review it. Just make sure you are a nonprofit based in Franklin, and then we post it on up. So that's it. So unless there's, that's really all I have. Another question? Go ahead.
From what we discussed so far, basically, my impression is that the township employees are going to be updating the website on a daily basis. Where does Vision come in? Are they involved when there's major enhancements that have to be made to the website?
So yeah. Do you want to field this? Or you want me to field it? Yeah.
I was going to say, I'll jump in. A lot of what our role is of course to set up the site and help provide the consultation initially about what content should be there. And then long term, the client takes over the role of doing the day-to-day updates, but we just make sure that the tools that enable them to be able to do that are constantly up to date. So when new browsers come out, we're the ones that are making sure that the site still functions on the new browsers. Or if there is a new function, like the job application tool that we've had requests from a lot of our clients that they wanted to see it, we would be rolling out that technology, and then the staff would take over actually using the technology to put in information that's relevant to Franklin Township. So we're really providing the back-end support, making sure that it's functioning from a technical perspective, and then of course the staff is going to be doing the filling in calendar events and news events and the content using the tools that we're providing. I hope that answers your question.
Yeah, and just and I think I may have said this to council when we launched the site. When we moved over to this new kind of paradigm of staff updating it, there was some savings in the annual budget between our old provider and the new provider. There was a cost to get the new site up and running and redesign and some upfront cost. But on an annual operating basis, we were actually saving that money back. So the site will actually end up paying for itself in a few years. But it did come at a savings. So the old provider was actually doing the labor. Vision is more of a platform. They're also responsible to make sure the site's up and running, and so they are they're in the hosting business. That's what they do. And Franklin Township is not in the website hosting business, as I've said a number of times. That's not what we do. So we have that hosted off-site so that the people who know how to do that, and that also allows us to make sure that in case of a disaster, should one strike, and hopefully it doesn't, but should one strike, it's away from here. It's actually hosted primarily in California and some secondary sites, I believe, but so that should something happen here, this will still function, and we can still access it and get to the residents the information we need. That answer your question? Anything else that we should be doing? Anything that you guys would like to see online? Like I said, dog and pet licensing is coming online soon. Interactive facilities guide of our open spaces properties will be up soon, in a month or two. Anything else that you would like us to do online? Okay. All right. Well, for anybody watching at home, or for you guys, feel free to email me, contact me through the website, contact the manager's office. This is a living thing now. This is not a static thing anymore. So we're always happy to update it and change it. So thanks for coming out.